Netherlands or Holland, depends how you want to say it. Now, as always, we're going to look at the population, how it was in the past, how it was in the future, and also give some thoughts in the end, how exactly it's going to look. From now on, I think I'm going to make a double video about those countries, especially I make one on population, and then I'm going to follow later in the same day with a street view and also Google Earth images, so you can see actually how they live, if they have a decrease in population, why, how they actually housing, let's say, look there, how well the life looks there, especially not going too much in detail. But I'm gonna make those to combine to see, I would say, to actually visualize the country itself, not just talking about numbers. Numbers and data are nice, but I like to visualize it too. So everybody knows Netherlands is pretty much in Western Europe. Usually they have great neighbors if you don't look too much back in the history, and I think they call it also the low country, so that's going to show you that it's pretty much a flat country. Now let's go to our population. As you can see, the growing rate, they are on up, but the growing rate are all over the place, but the population also, they go up and up so far. Now let's go back in the past for the second. In 1955, 10 million people, so already I would say a good number to start. Yearly change was 1.2, so not that much. That would roughly translate in 127,000 people. The migration was on minus at first. Now the median age 27 years old, so it's kind of high in my opinion, and the fertility rate 3, which is very, very healthy, I would say. Urban population around 57%, but now, like I said, with Netherlands, you are such a small country, you are not far away from a town, no matter where you live. So that's roughly, I will not consider it that much, but you're gonna see it's gonna increase with time. And the global rank was 34. Netherlands was one of those countries that they project some power in the past all over the world, but today I would say their projection in power is pretty much on the paper, and I say that maybe with the businesses that they have, with the agreements, it's not like a military power and a huge colonizer, but that's another discussion. Now fast forward to today, 2025, the population grew at 18 million people, but the yearly change now, obviously there was more population going up, and also in the Western country going down. You're gonna see the yearly change also goes down, only half of that what used to be in the 1955. Now it's 0.65%, and yearly changing, it's almost the same as the 1955. Now it's 118,000 people. Migration now it's on plus with 104,000 people, so huge migration here in Netherlands. You can see the migration, it's, I don't want to make a calculation, but I think probably it's like 10 times more than native population growth. So you can see a huge increase here, and you're gonna see that usually on the history of the Netherlands, they have a pretty strong migration, but as 2022, I would say immediately after the pandemic ended or the Ukraine-Russia war started, you can see some huge numbers here: 224, 144, 100. So everything on over 100,000 migrants. It's pretty much the highest number that we can see in recent history. Now the median age, as always with European countries, goes up, 41.5 years old. So I would say not alarming, but still, let's say if you judge them by the rest of the world, I would say it's very high. Fertility rate now it's a problem. Now it's 1.44. So you can see the replacement rate in 1975, right there, when they pretty much, you can see the population the migrant population goes up. Now those fertility rate, imagine that you have a migrant that came in let's say 1980s, 1985, doesn't matter where he come, could be from the Eastern Europe, could be from the South of Europe, could be from whatever, doesn't matter, and those people by now they will have kids, so they are not the native population from the 70s, 60s, 50s who have that many kids. And with all that, you have migration that have kids there, and now they are born in Netherlands, so it's going to be Dutch citizens. And even with that, you still cannot keep a fertility rate as let's say a sustainable level at 2.2, 2.1, around that. So even with that migration, in short time, it would pretty much disappear immediately. Now, Netherlands is one of those very rich countries. They are not, let's say, starving out there, but I remember a comment on my video, then somebody from Netherlands says they cannot afford a house, and I would like to see more. I usually look those information up, and I saw they have some problem. But if you are living in Netherlands, I would like to see more from you. How exactly the market housing is there? Because from the numbers that I see here, the population are going up, migration insanely up. I would say double, triple it than the last few years. And I am curious how exactly the market for the housing it is, because how fast they can build those houses, especially with the European regulation, which is extremely high. I'm curious how actually they land with all of those all of those things coming at once. Now, like I say, urban population now is such a small countries. Now it's pretty much a 90%, but like I say, I don't mind even having 60%, 90% in Holland. Doesn't make pretty much too much of the difference. Again, Holland is probably going to be one of those beautiful countries which is pretty much better to live outside the cities than in an actual city, but that's my preference. Global rank obviously goes immediately down, 71 now from the 34, so we can see some huge decreases. Now, for the future, let's go 2050. The population will pretty much go down. Not from by today's standard, but still, even those numbers, I have to say one more time again, I don't believe those numbers are actually extremely accurate, but they are the best thing that I can say. I have something to comment on them. You can have those numbers up and down by a few hundreds of thousands, let's say. It doesn't make much of the difference in my opinion, because it's gonna show the direction that country goes, and that's what I'm commenting here to say. 2050, you can see 18.9. By, let's say, already have a decrease in population, but look at these numbers here. You already have by 2035 more migrants than actually growth of the country. So you're gonna see, I believe, even those growth from the, let's say, in population, I will not put it exactly in a native population, because like I said, you already have migration back in a day. So even those people that are born, they are most likely, I would say, from the first generation migrants, but that's a much complicated topic. But from here you're gonna see, not even with the migration, they cannot stop going down in population, and also aging, not insanely fast, but from 42 to 45, that shows, I don't know, maybe by the end of the century it's gonna be like 55, 60, which is pretty much insane in my opinion. Fertility rate, they say, is gonna go up a bit, but not by much and not enough to influence. So starting from, let's say, by this chart, by 2045, they're gonna go down in population. My let's say vision is gonna be like, probably they're gonna go down in population sooner than 20 to 45. Probably it's going to happen around 2035, but we will see that, especially if you have more migrants than the actual growth of the country. That shows how, let's say, unsatisfactory the country is doing. Because you can have all those rich countries like we have here in Europe, especially Netherlands is a very rich country, but even that is not enough. The urban population is pretty much stabilized at 90%, like I say. It's small country. You can walk, or you can use a bike to just go in a town, in a city area, in less than, I don't know, 15 to 30 minutes, something like that, I would guess. The global rank is gonna go down a bit, but from 72, let's say, to 77, so not that much worry. Now, life expectancy for both sexes is 82 years old, female 83, males 80. So I think one of those countries, I don't think I saw a country that it's more close female to male, so that shows let's say the work condition are very well in Netherlands. Infant mortality 3.1 and death under age of 5 3.6. It's a bit higher than I expected for such a rich country, let's say, as the Netherlands, and probably they have a very well health system, but I see those numbers, I think it's pretty high for Netherlands standard. I would like to see them under 3, both of them. Now with the cities, they don't have one city, especially by official numbers. I think they calculate only the exactly border of the city, not just what's on the side of the city. So that's why we end up with those numbers. Amsterdam and Rotterdam, not one of them just go over 1 million people. So they are, I would say, pretty well spread. You can see in this Netherlands, but again, you can look at the map and see all those small towns, like I say, very close to each other. And I think it's pretty nice to have a town there, and not just make a huge big city when it's gonna take you pretty much 3 hours to go across it. Now, from the future of Netherlands, I don't see them. It's pretty much a European country, like I say, a Western European country. I don't see them doing extremely well by the end of the century, but like I say, with the other European countries, for the next century, I think they're gonna have better times. But for this century, I'm curious about this population because I read something very recently that's gonna say by year 2200, something like that, there will not be anymore a pure race of people. Doesn't matter which one is. Everybody is gonna be a combine between them. So I think a lot of those changes gonna came, especially if you have no, let's say, pure race, whatever. It's gonna have a mix of all of them. A lot of things are gonna go out of the windows, and you're gonna remain with pretty much a global migrant population, let's say, and that is gonna be also some good things and bad things about that. But just showing that the direction are we going, and you can say it's pretty good because you have everyone is gonna mix, let's say, the DNA and also the genetics. So usually it is a good thing, especially from the medical point, but and also with the AI advancement in the healthcare. I think, I don't know, they say by 2050 it's gonna have pretty much everything, every disease solved, and also some age related health is gonna actually scale back, but they're gonna see that in the future. Now, for the Netherlands for this century, I think it's gonna be, especially for those who are alive right now and in their lifetime, I don't see them extremely well, especially not better than they are right now. And I'm not sure exactly how many. Dutch people are very smart from my understanding, so I'm not sure how many of them are leaving the country, especially those highly educated one, and also those not just highly educated but just who actually want to do more than the let's say what opportunities we have in Netherlands. They're actually leaving for the United States. I'm curious how many of them actually do that. And if you watch this video and you live in Netherlands and you are let's say native there, you have 3 generations of family living there by now, or you have the 1st generation living there, would you consider it to moving outside the Netherlands? Because you're gonna see outside the Netherlands, Germany, everybody make that video. When I made that video, everybody say Germany has fallen, England the same, France the same. So we have these Western European countries, the northern country. I already made that video and everybody was mad, especially about Finland, but I'm gonna go to Norway also as well. Netherlands seems to be in a place like I say, very well educated, smart people, but I'm not sure if they gonna choose to live, especially by the mid of the century, to just stay in Netherlands or just pretty much skip it and just go for the United States. I'm curious about that because, like I said, from this century, I don't see them getting much worse than that. Also, they have some problem, I think, with have that protest with agriculture, with farmers, and like I say, I don't see them improve them condition, but also not getting much worse. That's why I'm curious to see if they actually, the Dutch people, are looking for more or just gonna settle for what they have now and just gonna take it. So yeah, that was the video. Later this day, we're gonna look at the Netherlands from the, like I say, from the Google Street View and also from the Google Earth. You're gonna see exactly how they live. You're gonna just choose random parts of the country to just explore and see how actually those people are living there, how the houses look like, how the street looks like, how well maintained they are. And I think, like I said, that's gonna be a future for this channel. You're gonna put those population, and also you're gonna look at the country itself, see how actually they doing there, how well they're doing. So yeah, that was the video. If you have something to comment, you have the comment section there. I'm gonna try to respond them as many as I can, and also check my other videos, because I'm pretty much making those world population right now, and also on the side I make tech videos and whatever things I'm gonna choose in the future to do. It's gonna be pretty much a multi-thing channel. It's not gonna make just one subject. I'm gonna focus pretty much on everything that I find interesting.